Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, Persistent Data Protection for Hybrid Work. Securing critical corporate data beyond your network perimeter with Sealpath. I'm your speaker, Kenneth Low, CSSP Technical Director of version 2 Singapore Pte Limited. So yeah, today we focus on the data and in the hybrid working environment. So let's talk about hybrid work. First of all, the perimeter actually is disappearing. So no matter users or customers or employees who report to office in the working day, but they still have remote access with their BYOD corporate device. So sensitive data is sensitive corporate data is constantly on the move. So they're not only sitting in your office, not sitting in your data center, not only sitting in your server. They also have a copy of your mobile phone, your laptop, or the tablet that move around. So also in your home office, and also external contributors, your contractors, your outsourcers. So leaving your security boundaries are primarily moving around, and there is a potential to be exposed. So that's the vulnerability of hybrid work. So to protect against data breach or data leak, so traditional way, of course, we use DLP and firewall and SASE or network monitoring, all sorts of things. But many of them are quite focused on your perimeter defense, focusing on the server, focusing on your laptops. In case it is will send over to third party or allow someone to download the file or share it, so the control is completely lost. So this is really a big gap on data protections. So let's talk about the hybrid work more. So Sealpath help you to fill the gaps. No matter it's a hybrid remote work or fully remote work, actually is similar. It's just a matter of percentage. So Sealpath ensures your files remain encrypted at rest, in transit, or directly in use. So it will dynamically lock the file no matter where it is. It is on your server, on your computers, or your data center, in the cloud, even in your third-party contractor or supplier's computers. So you can protect the file all the way from creation to destruction. So no matter who and where holding the file. Sounds great, right? So what's even better? So we can keep track of the file in real time. So wherever someone tries to open the file, try to edit it, try to print it, try to copy and paste, or try to do something not allowed, it will be tracked and recorded in our audit logs. And of course, we can do a control on the access right for different users. For same file, for different group of users, they may have read only, they can edit it, they can even not able to open, they can print it, or they will show watermark when they open. So you can change the right instantly anywhere. Okay, no matter file where it is, it can be take effective instantly. And very importantly, we can revoke the access anytime. So even you send the file to a third party, assign the right to them, for example, the contract or the project is end, those people are not shouldn't hold the file anymore. So you can revoke the access or simply set a timeout. So after timeout or you revoke the access, they cannot open the file again. Cool, right? So that's a simple journey how we can protect your files. Of course, on the creations. So when you create a file, or of course, if that existing file, you can do discovery to assign label to control it. but let's start from scratch. So when you create a file, we will auto encrypt it with the corresponding policy. Then you can distribute, no matter you send through email, put in cloud drive, put in USB and hard drive, and anyway, any media or many channel you share the file, or through some CAD switch sharing mechanism, whatever. So when you distribute it, that will be all the way protected. Then we start to monitor, so we know who and where, when, and using it. And is there any unauthorized access triggering? And then we can react in case we find we need to give more permission, or you can tighten the permission, or you want to revoke the access. You can do react anytime, anywhere. Of course, if your file is end of life, the retention period is ends, you can remove any access from anyone. Okay, so there will be no one can open it anymore. Okay, of course you can change back the policy later on, but that virtually destruct the file. Okay, so let's talk about the regulation and compliance. So in many compliance, no matter GDPR, HIPAA, or IST, or many others, PDPA. So we always have quite a few points that share common criteria. Say, first of all, we need to take care and control the access of the file. Yes, we can do with Sealpath, right? And we can even we can revoke the access. There's not many others can do. And we have monitoring. We know who, when, where open the file. So there are records and audit logs, which fulfill most of those compliance and requirement, like even PCI, those very high, highly restricted. We can achieve that. So we help you to continuous fulfill the regulations and compliance on the fly without extra effort. Once you configure the policy, instruct to protect the file, the audit logs there, the control is there, the monitoring is there, the access control is there. Okay. So, so how it works in the underlayer concept. So we encrypt your file when it create or when you apply policy. So whenever the file is being opened, we share the decryption key with to authorize user, and then with the permission that come with the policy. So no matter which is a through application, endpoints, network, parameters, on the cloud, all layers are being controlled and monitored. So we will not allow uh, someone that able to access without permissions, because the file from the very beginning is encrypted and protected. They are not allowed to be open and anywhere if it's not allowed. Okay. So one more thing that is very important for Sealpath is we integrate with Microsoft Office Suite and PDF, Adobe PDF readers. So we can allow third-party users to open Sealpath protected file without additional agents. So that means, okay, I'm the company on the data. I have Sealpath. Of course, we have agent to protect the file. Somewhere you have to starting point to encrypt the file, right? Protect the file. Of course, you can integrate with SharePoint or OneDrive that we on the server. Need not to be did manually. But anyway, once we have the protected file, we can send email, share to someone that third parties or internal staff they didn't bother to install the agent. They just use the file. Okay. When they open Office file or PDF file, wherever they have a permission, they need not to install a third-party agent. Just straight open the file, authenticate if necessary, follow with the email address, then they can open the file with the existing Office Suite or PDF readers. Okay, of course, for other files like audio file, image file, or any other files, you still need a tiny agent to open it, or you can use our web-based decryptor if in case third party is not allowed to install or run any third party tools to decrypt or view your files. So that's how it works, and what's the beauty that because we reduce lots of objections or problems that you try to run a fully protected tools, because before that there's many DRM solutions have the headache that we cannot make a third party to open the file because they are not allowed to install any other third party application. Now I think most of your partners or your customer or your users will have Office Suite or PDF readers in their computer, right? So that's the beauty. So besides that, how our customer will make use of Sealpath in their environment. So there are a few integration that we will take advantage of it. First of all, very commonly, we will integrate with DLP solutions. Okay, we fill the gap for the file that after sending out, right? Because if you have DLP, you can control everything, anything, only within your organization. So after you send out the file, there's no one can control or revoke the access. Now you can, okay? You integrate Sealpath with your existing DLP solutions. So you may enforce the encryption, then before the sending it out with Sealpath, make sure it is protected, then send out, and you can still monitoring both sides with Sealpath or also DLP. And you can still take control and monitor the usage of the file, right? Good, right? And second is very commonly for a large corporate with a huge number of data. They may already have DLP in place, but sometimes they have the headache of the problem of data classification because they may have a large data pool. They don't know which one to protect or very difficult to define which file is should be protected. Nowadays, we have AI, machine learning, so we have intelligent data classification to help you to quickly identify if those files should be protected and then send it to Sealpath to help you to protect it. So that will be um, a very convenient way and more practical way that how can we uh, classify our files and protect it correctly. Okay, so this is very important. So last one is a CAD files. So nowadays we have many CAD applications, computer-aided design applications. For example, designing from semiconductor to machineries, car, buildings, metro, whatever. Yeah, so there's lots of CAD software in the market or of watches. Yeah, many. So the common thing is the file is highly valuable because the design process is very time consuming, involve many IP or many patents. The file itself is highly valuable. So we has to protect those files all the way when they create and before sharing and wherever. So and the other thing, in technically, those CAD files usually very large, okay, in file size. So using a simple decryption software may not be efficient and convenient enough. So we design some plugin that integrate with the CAD software, make sure the file first really protected when they create, and very importantly, it won't affect your productivity when you're using a protected file with those CAD software. Okay, so one more thing. How about the server? How it works? Okay, so first of all, we do not upload your files. Okay, you keep your own files, but in a protected state. We only create and store those as encryption keys and distribute when after the user is authenticated. So when you create a new file, there will be new key pairs created, upload to our server, and someone try to access the file, we will distribute the key for decrypt the file, and they can use it on the fly. And we support SaaS, mode, and on-premises. So you can host your own server, or you can use ours. Is it won't be a very large server because we just host keys and not hosting a file. Okay, but if you host it on-prem, maybe you have some offline environments that you need to be hosted offline, or some kind of regulations or audit or internal decisions. But make sure that the server is HA and highly monitored and maintained. Yeah, that's you understand. Yeah, because the file is managed, controlled by the server. So I also mentioned about the compliance. So there's a few compliance that you may facing that Sealpath can help you to keep your file encrypted and transit at rest and in use. Okay, so many solutions may only at rest or only in transit, but we are also transit at rest and in use. Okay, not many solutions can do that, right? And we can have a control the access, and you can revoke the access and monitoring. So there's most of them are very elementary requirement for those personal data protection or industry compliance and cybersecurity control framework. So yeah, it always fulfill most of those file protection requirements. So there is a few quite many integration we can do. We can integrate MDM, email gateways, SharePoints, and NAS, CAD, many others. Okay, you may find some that maybe you are using it, so we can fully integrate with them to ensure the protection is automated, is smooth, and under control, and automatically. So let me give you some quick demo. Let me stop the share first to open up the necessary files. Give me a second. So I will show you the admin console, which is almost you can see all the features that are available from Sealpath. The client side more or less is similar. Give me a second. Okay, and notch it. Okay, let me share again. Okay, here we go. So here is the Sealpath admin console. So you will see there's 50 alerts. We can take a look later, see what's happened. Yeah, so you will be being alert if there's something abnormal happens. So let me close the Gemini. Yeah, so there will be some statistic, how many files being used and encrypt or detect, what's the most access file, how many times is accessed. So we can have some document access list. So this is the audit log. Okay, this is a texting PDF by me and open at 11th of June. Where's IP address? So we can see who went where by whom. Okay. And then there will be some filters or internal, external. It's something more similar. So how we do protection? So there's two types of protection. We call it company protection and user protection. So you can allow some user to create protection rules, assign a file, and control it. Of course, you can simply create a company created and assigned to different kind of users, and then let them use those policy to control the file. And of course, as I said, we can integrate with SharePoint, WinServer, OneDrive. Um, then we can do automatic control to apply similar policy. So let's create a new protections. So give a name. So 2026 1111. Okay, description must be typed, some DSC. Okay, you should type something meaningful in case, like for example, it's for marketing or for sales, or this is a project ABC, something like that. Okay, here we give permissions. Okay, so we can give it to a single user. So like to myself. Okay, and we choose the permission. So now I can give a view, that means read only. I can assign to a whole domain. So for example, anyone from version-2.com who can also read only. And then I assign admin, maybe called Jason. he can view, edit, extract content, print. Okay. Oops. Print. Yeah. So full control should be very, very careful because full control include unprotected file. So do mindful to before assign any full control. So here I don't. So hey Jason. So Jason can do many things. Okay, they can view, edit, print, and extract the file. So this is who can use those file protected by this policy. Next, there's additional options. For example, as I said, this is a project. Maybe it will end in 226. So the file, okay, I'll give a few more days buffer. So 2026 December 31, the project will end. I give 3 days buffer in case. Okay. So we also support offline access. Okay. So how it works? So as I said, when you open the file, you exchange a key to open that file. So if you're offline, theoretically, you cannot access the file, the server, right? The key server. How it works is before you go online, you have to go online first, okay? Then maybe you go to the airplane. Now maybe airplane also go online, but it's expensive or whatever reason. There's no Starlink, whatever. Then you open the file first, and it will survive for a number of days for the key. So we cache the key for you, like for example 5 days. So after 5 days, the key will expire. You need to be online again. Okay. So this is how the offline file works. And of course, if it's not necessary, we will not give offline access. And for PDF and image, you can add watermark. When they open the file, there will be a watermark on that. And also you can block Microsoft mobile access control. And we can limit the access from certain IP address. For example, I only allow to Singapore address. And also we add others. Okay, so there will be an address. Then we can share this policy. Okay, so the permission itself is for who can access those files. Okay, the sharing here is the who can use this policy. Okay, so of course those user can access the file, can use the policy. Otherwise, it logically doesn't make sense, right? So CanF can share we will share the policy, and Jason can share the policy, and okay, let me change the Jason. Jason have more permission. They can add more users, so he can assign more users can read the file and edit the file. So that's how it works. Done. So and any users from this list, they can use the policy to protect the file. And here you can see how many file is being protected with the corresponding protection policy. Okay. Then we will some statistics. So we can know how many unused protection, how many documents is being protected. Yeah. Or we can see how many users using the solutions, including internal, external users. And also we can see alerts. Okay, we can see how many alerts there. Okay, let's see. Okay, so admin, you can have some transfer permissions from one user to other users. Is of course you can imagine for if someone left the company, because we bound with an email address, right? So maybe ABC or maybe Mary can use those accounting file. Now Mary left the company, and then new staff called Jenny. Jenny can use the same because they're same position, that you can transfer Mary's file to Jenny. Okay, so just something like that. Yeah, you need not to take it one by one. You just simply transfer. Okay, and as I said, there's IP range, and you can do data classification. So we can do auto file protection with the file headers. So there's a label and content. So when we find the file with the certain file headers. Usually we use this to integrate your DLP or your any other data classification tools. So we assign corresponding protection, follow the file headers. It means label. Okay. So it's common no matter with Microsoft and others. Yeah, it's just use a similar mechanism. So of course we can block certain users from the access. Okay, here you can block all your own user and also external users. For example, there will be a strange Gmail try to access all your file, no matter even though they don't have any access, you can simply block it. So it will not allow that user to access your company file any file at any time. So you avoid they have someone put a star at gmail.com. That will be a nightmare, right? So you can add those bad lists. Okay, and here is a audit logs. So what the administrator did, what's going on, you have all those logs here. So for the file operation is quite simple, right click and protect with the policy that will be protected and controlled. So I don't demonstrate that part because I think it's quite pretty straightforward and easy to use. In case you're interested, you can ask for POC or testing or your detailed demo for the solutions with us. And one reason because the client side is quite small screen, not easy to show on the webmin. So yeah, so there's a reason. Anyway, so let's go back to the slide. Okay, so we finished the demo. So now is the Q&A part. In case you have any questions, please raise your questions here in the question and answer box, question or chat box, or you can send me email, or you can add me a LinkedIn and us, or you can book me a free consultation sections, 15 minutes. Yeah, you can check on security, on Sealpath, or any other security solution we carry or not we carry anyway. So I'm very welcome to have a conversation with you guys. So that's all for today's sessions. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining with us. Cheers. Bye bye.